Rome 2 was released in 2013 as a sequel to Rome Total War. It currently stands at 36,000 positive reviews via Steam and has over 5,000 mods on the Steam Workshop and more. It is currently one of the best games on the classical setting that is out there, delivering modifications such as the famous mod Et Impera, which gives the game a grounded, historical accuracy feel to the factions, units, mechanics, and cultures. In this list, we'll cover a ground-breaking new mod called New World, which features Atlantis, Troy, and the Amazons, and Wars of the Gods mod for Rome 2, which is a gigantic, comprehensive overhaul that is akin to Rome Resurrectum 2. We'll also cover Et Impera and its submod Alexander, which lets you relive the conquest of the Persian Empire, and a mod that is called Cyrus the Great, which focuses on the rise of the Persian Empire. So, New World is an alternate history mod that introduces the question: what if Atlantis and Troy and the Amazons and the Lydians and the Norse had a more of a historical grounding in mainstream history? This is an alternate history mod. This is not DEI, but it adds realism to some degree. The Amazonians play a central part in this mod, especially for the Grand Campaign. What if they had survived till the classical era of the time when Alexander's generals now squabble after his death, tearing the empire apart? This is where you, as a player, take command of history. Should you take Troy and restore the Trojan Empire that ruled millennia ago? Perhaps expand Troy and destroy the mighty Hellenistic powers that are no doubt hungry to claim the legitimacy of such an illustrious race. Or perhaps you want to play as the Amazons and build a new empire that will uproot the world of man. As of now, the mod creator has added the Norse as a playable faction for this classical antiquity setting modification, and for patch 9, a native Egyptian faction called Kemet is being added. New World is now number 2 on the Steam Workshop, and if you always wanted that itch of that alternate history feeling, then you should download this mod right now on the Steam Workshop. Genesis, the mod creator, is very active in his Discord. Wars of the Gods mod. This mod is comparable to Rome Resurrectum 2 in many ways, overhauling many factions from mechanics to the UI. The battles feel tactical, and the AI is often challenging you in your campaign. Factions have huge unit rosters with over 1500 unique units, making you feel like you're recruiting vast armies, and most of the factions feel historical, most of the factions feel unique, and the biggest thing is it doesn't provide so much of an economic scarcity for you to play. So for example, you start Rome in vanilla, but then you have to worry about how much income you're gonna get and where, what, why. Wars of the Gods doesn't do that. What Wars of the Gods says, what it does is, it says to you, the player, that, okay, here's 32,000 gold. Now go and expand your economy. But here's the best part. Once you grow into an empire, you can recruit as many mercenaries. It won't have too much of an impact in your income. But once you have extended yourself, then managing the economy, then it becomes very ruthless, and you really have to pay attention to it. So with visually stunning attention to units, campaign, mechanics, I've played this mod for hundreds of hours. There are plenty of sub-mods out there, and you can always contact the mod creators Toon Total War and Brand, and you can tell, and if any issues arise, you can tell them, of course. But I've never had so much fun with a mod. In my opinion, Wars of the Gods mod is a fantastic mod to download, so subscribe with plenty of submods is fantastic. And now we move on to Et Impera, which is a fantastic mod. So many great things about this mod. So I think it's really awesome, and it's one of those mods that you need to download. Okay, so moving on to Et Impera. Et Impera came around Rome 2's release in November 2013, and it was a complete overhaul of everything basically. It was made in a way that the game would reflect the historical accuracy of the time period, but it also changed factions, mechanics, cultures, rosters, and it's still doing that with constant updated patches. So what makes this mod special? I think, in my opinion, the AI. The AI gives you so many challenges, you really have to think on your feet and how you will expand, how you will play, and what strategy you should devise to expand your army or expand your empire. Your armies can't be simply raised as in vanilla gameplay, purely because there is a system of logistics at play. For example, you can only recruit historically accurate units in specific regions. Even if you raise one army, for example, from the Italian peninsula plain as Rome, there is a population system that you have to draw units from. If you run out of enough of that population system, you can't recruit those units, and this is a really good system that I think should be implemented in future Total War titles. There are a ton of features in this mod that simply cannot be described in one paragraph. It really overhauls Rome 2 to a great extent. Clicking on historical cities, you can get events telling you how special these classical cities were in antiquity. Having played hundreds of hours of this fantastic mod, I can say it's a recommended mod for first-time Rome 2 players. But be warned, it is a difficult. While it may be a difficult mod, the difficulty adds lots of challenges, lots of fun, and it makes DEI one of the best mods out there. It basically is bang for your buck, and it's the amazing value in this mod is amazing. There are guides by great YouTubers that play this mod, such as The Terminator, who does his Et Impera first 10 turns. There's legendary Spartan and Immersaholic that do really fantastic guides on this mod. So I definitely would go and subscribe to them as well if you want to know more about Et Impera. So now we go on to Et Impera Alexander. Ever wondered if you wanted to take control of Alexander the Great and forge your own destiny by conquering the Persian Empire? Well, now you can in this fantastic submod with new features, new units, historically accurate unit rosters for the Macedonian and Persian armies of the time. In a general sense, it retains much of the features that the original DEI mod has. You have to face the mighty armies of the Persian Empire, retain your army logistics, and it's not as easy as it is made out to be. I played the Persian Empire in my playthrough because I have a bias towards it, and it is not as easy as one can seem. The DEI developers deem it as one of the hardest campaigns in DEI. Overall, Et Impera and its submod Et Impera Alexander is worth a download. The main base game mod has been updated with update 1.28, which has overhauled the Hellenistic factions and plans to bring more updates in the future. So DEI and the submod is a must download. Now we go into Cyrus the Great campaign. As someone that has an interest in the Persian Empire history, this modification was a godsend. With a complete total overhaul of the time period, everything that has been scaled back to the rise of the Persian Empire, with Cyrus the Great leading his small tribe to establish one of the greatest empires that history will know for decades. It is a challenging mod, it's not easy, and it gives you a hard time when you play. It has new factions such as Egypt, Assyria, and other Bronze Age style factions. If you want to lead Persia to greatness, then this is the mod for you. It is one of those underrated mods and a breakaway from the Roman dominated campaign era style mods of Rome 2. I would say without a doubt that it is a mod worth downloading. Overall, Rome 2 has many modifications that didn't make it unfortunately to the list. There are many that are worth downloading that focus on the revolt of Spartacus and the rise of Christianity and the Peloponnesian Wars. However, most of these mods I believe are patch 17 compatible. So you will have to play these mods via patch 17, which is a very early base of the game with no family tree or politics. There are still more mods being made for Rome 2, and despite its shaky launch and release, this game has mods that cover entire areas of history in the classical period. You can overhaul the game to whatever mod you desire and whatever areas you may wish to change. Without a doubt, these are my recommendations and they are thoroughly worth downloading. This is an occasional style video and I will do more mod spotlights in the future, but this is something unusually different from what I do. And do let me know if you want to see any other mods featured for Rome 2. And I will also be doing a trailer and some other mods as well. Okay, don't forget to leave a like, share, comment and subscribe, and I will see you.